PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster that's here to keep you company, that's here to take your mind off of stuff, that wishes he had something witty and silly to say, that could, I wish I had something to say that would instantly put you to sleep and relieve all that tension. But I can only do it my way, which is slow, meandering, and a little bit goofy. The reason I do the show? For you, because I know how it feels in the deep, dark night. And if I can help, if I can keep you company, it'd be my honor. So whether you're new or you're coming back, you're a regular listener, you come back, you just use the show when you need it. I'm glad you're here. And I really hope I can help you fall asleep. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And here's a couple of ways we're able to do this for you. For free Choice Week, you can always check those out when your hand hits that fridge or that coffee pot at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots, and I could really use your help. We're doing our yearly annual survey, and I'd be so grateful if you could take a few minutes and answer the survey. You could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/survey. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/survey, SURVEY. Fill out the survey, and there's a box towards the end where you could put in your thoughts about the show. So if there's anything you really wanted to let me know, something you want more of, you're looking for something a little bit different, I don't know. Let me know right in that box. Give me your feedback. But please take the time to fill out that survey. It's so useful for the health and long-term sustainability for the show. So fill that out at sleepwithmepodcast.com/survey. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/survey. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. It is time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Calm. And, the school year just started, and you know how it goes. Your day gets filled with to-dos, work, laundry, emails, errands. Then I got to cook dinner, and then I got to prepare to do it all again tomorrow. But what about time to focus on what I need, right? With Calm, you can prioritize your most important to-do, which is taking time for yourself each day. We're partnering with Calm, the #1 mental wellness app, to give you the tools that improve the way you feel. Reduce stress and anxiety through guided meditations, improve focus with curated music tracks, and rest and recharge with Calm's imaginative sleep stories for children and adults. There's even new daily movement sessions designed to relax your body and uplift your mind. If you go to calm.com/sleepwithme, you'll get a special offer of 40% off a Calm Premium subscription, and new content is added every week. Over 100 million people around the world use Calm to take care of their minds, and Calm is ready to help you stress less, sleep more, and live a happier, healthier life. And the amazing thing about Calm is you can use it any part of your day, multiple times a day. You could check out the daily meditation. There's so much in the app to check out. You could start your day with a meditation. You can end your day with a meditation. That's how I do it. I have meditation built into my morning routine and my wind down routine. But also I want you to join me. I'm going to need a break during this school year, beginning of this school year. I'm going to use Calm. So let me know what meditations you like. Let me know on social media, and I'll let you know back what I'm checking out. For listeners of Sleep With Me, Calm is offering an exclusive offer of 40% off a Calm Premium subscription at calm.com/sleepwithme. Go to calm.com/sleepwithme for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/sleepwithme. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Everybody, there's a lot of different things I do to take care of my mind, whether it's meditation, having a morning routine, having an evening routine, taking breaks throughout the day, and working with my therapist every single week, because it's important to me to invest the time to take care of my thoughts, to take care of my feelings. That's one of the reasons I recommend BetterHelp to people in my personal life who are looking to take better care of themselves. I've been going to talk therapy because it works, because it's a part part of my life. It makes my life better. It helps my relationship with myself and other people. So if you haven't tried therapy, why not check it out? Give it a try. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers a video, phone, and even live chat therapy sessions. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. And our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. Get over there. Check it out. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it is time for the Sleepy Supporter Zone. The one part of the podcast in each year is where I pop my peas. If you please, I thank the listeners who supported the sponsors. That's how we're able to be here free twice a week. So it really is something. And I love, like I talked about it earlier, another mention is like, I love hearing my name on other podcasts when I support them or support their sponsors. So I can tell you how good it feels. If you want to hear your name on Sleep With Me as a thank you, all you have to do is support a sponsor. Even check out a free trial. A lot of times we have amazing free trials. You check out a sponsor, you support a sponsor, you purchase the products, whatever it is, then you let them know about it on social media, or you can send them a letter, give them a call, then fill out the form at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors, and you'll hear your name on the show. How cool is that? It is cool. I can tell you, I say, whoa, boy. Like, even you say, Scooch, you make a podcast. You hear, I say, I don't know. It feels good. So if you support a sponsor, take an extra few minutes to spread the word and reach out so I can thank you, because I really do appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you. So that's why I'm looking for people to thank right now, because I'm looking for people who supported the sponsors and let the sponsors know about it so I can thank you here on the Sleepy Supporter Zone like you. Can't wait to thank you. That's the first part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. The second part is you getting the support you need. If you're having a tough time right now, there's links to resources in the show notes, including international resources you can connect with right now. It's about being a part of community, being a part of positive change, saying Black Lives Matter, saying stop AAPI, saying support Ukraine with our actions. And so there's links to resources you could connect with to learn more and take action in the show notes. And one of the things we're doing as a community is building hygiene kits during live shows at night as part of my wind down or your wind down, doing it together as a community, having fun. You can join in on that effort at sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission. That's sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission. It's a free newsletter. That's how you get to participate in all the fun. Please join me. It's going to be a great time, and we're going to be a part of positive change and community. So what do you say, Mr. Bard? A lot of people hop out on the show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the mystery bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mr. Bard. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Please take a few minutes and sign up for our free newsletter to support the Midnight Mission. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission. Thanks, everybody. Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble, getting to sleep, trouble, staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it the bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever is keeping you awake. It could be thoughts on your mind, thoughts about the past, the present, the future. It could be feelings or emotions coming up related to those thoughts or to something else or that are just there. It could be physical sensations. It could be changes in time or temperature or routine. I'll tell you what, I had like not a quality night's sleep last night. A couple reasons. These ones are, maybe they're relatable, maybe not. I had a live show last night. It didn't start till around 7:15 was when the prep started. And so I had some caffeine later in the day to help me with the live show. And I slept good the night before. Usually I don't sleep great the night before either. But then last night my brain was processing, or my subconscious or whatever. So it kept waking me up with stuff related to the live show. Not super critical, but like more like processing stuff that was like not sleepy. Like more like, oh, what about this paper? I said, is there paperwork at the live show? And and then I'd wake up. I'd say, why am I having to do all this paperwork? Or did you remember all the microphones or whatever it is? So whatever's keeping you awake, I'm here to take your mind off of that and keep you company so you can fall asleep. The reason I make the show, one, I know how it feels. Tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep. I had trouble staying asleep and getting to sleep last night. I did fall, like I had one of those ones too where I fell asleep fast and then I woke back up and then I had trouble falling asleep and then staying asleep. So, but like I know how it feels. It's not great. I knew I was going to be tired today anyway. So it's kind of one of those days I didn't, have a busy day today, but I was like, okay, I'm in acceptance that I'm going to be a little bit tired. But that's rarely the case, right? Like I knew I wasn't going to get a good night's sleep, so I kind of anticipated it, or I was like, okay, I'll deal with it. But yeah, when you don't anticipate it, it can be, it's not great either. Whatever way you get it. So one of the reasons I can relate is because I know how it feels to be tired, because I'm tired right now. I'm in a pretty good mood though. And then I know how it feels when you can't sleep or when you're waking up. And also the main reason is I believe you deserve a good night's sleep. Just like I would have preferred to get a great night's sleep last night. Hopefully I'll get a good one tonight. You deserve a good night's sleep because your life will be more manageable when you do get the sleep you deserve. You deserve a bedtime you could feel neutral about and not dread, or bedtime you could look forward to. And if I could be a part of providing that, that would be my honor because, like I said, I know how it feels there, and it's frustrating, right? So that's why I make the show, and the way I do it is I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. And what that means is I go off topic, I get mixed up, I repeat myself, I don't make a lot of sense all the time. I'll talk about one thing, then I'll remember something else, and I'll go back to talking about, and then I'll forget what I was talking about. Kind of like thoughts at bedtime, like I'll drift, but try to drift in a smooth way between things, not always smooth. And like all of that is to keep you company so that you can fall asleep. Creaky dulcet tones is just a style of my voice, not for everybody, not everybody's cup of tea. Just like I don't know about that, but it's not traditionally soothing. I'm more here to be distracting and to be good company. I'm the kind of company. Like, I'm the kind of company you don't need to keep, but, like, I'll be around, but I'll be around at a distance. I'm on call. The company you kind of keep, Scooter. The company you keep, kind of, a little bit. So what that means is, if you're new, I'm glad you're here. Now, if you're skeptical or doubtful or you're already frustrated or you're like, where's the show going? That's a normal reaction to this podcast because it is not for everybody, right? It is very different. If you've had trouble sleeping, you've probably tried other stuff before, probably a lot of different stuff. And somehow you found this podcast. Either someone recommended it or you just were searching and you tried it out. So this show is very different. And the only advice I can give you is what I've heard probably at least 1 million times is give it a few tries and see how it goes. So if you're skeptical or doubtful, that's normal, but just listen a few times, like try tonight and try a couple more nights and see how it goes, because the podcast can take some getting used to because it's so different. I'm going to explain what's different about it right now, but give it a few tries, and see if you definitely already don't like me or the show, that's fine too. I have a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you, that you could check out. It has a bunch of different sleep podcasts and sleepy audio on there. You could try one of those because you still deserve a good night's sleep, whether I can help or not. So okay. So what's different about the show? One, it's a podcast you don't really listen to. You kind of just barely listen. Kind of like I said, I'm keeping you company in the deep dark night, but you don't need to entertain me or even listen to me or even humor me. You don't even have to pretend. You could pretend you're listening. A lot of listeners do that. They say, okay. Oh, yeah, totally, Scoots. I could see why you'd feel that way or whatever. You could do that. You could participate a little bit if you want, but you don't need to. And I'll be here the whole time. So if you wake up or you can't sleep or you've got something you're dealing with, you just can't sleep at all, I'm here to keep you company whether you're awake or asleep. And the show doesn't really put you to sleep so much as it keeps you company while you drift off. I'm here in the deep dark night to be your friend, your bore friend, your bore bae, your bore sib, your bore cuz, your bore bestie, your neighbor, your bore burr, your bore bruh, your friend in the deep dark night. I'm here to keep you company. Like I said, if you can't sleep, I'm here to keep you company. And if you're not listening, I'm here to keep you company. So it's a podcast, it's a sleep podcast that doesn't put you to sleep and that you don't really listen to. Those are things that are hard to get used to. Another thing that throws people off is the structure of the show. And the podcast is designed in a very specific way, but as you become a regular listener, you could kind of adjust how you listen. So there's, it starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and then I say something silly. And all of that is so that you feel seen and welcomed in, and you get the nature of the show. It's a little bit different, a little bit silly, but not hilarious or it's partially amusing. So that's the greeting. Then there's support because I want the podcast to come out twice a week for free versus being subscription only or like exclusive or something. That's the goal. So paying for it is optional. So the people that support the sponsors or support the show directly, those are the ones that enable us to be here for free. But if you're not in a position to do so or you don't want to, that's cool because it's free. So that's the support for the show. Then there's support for listeners, and then there's support for communities around the show. So that's that part of the show. Then there's an intro. And for some reason, people that don't like the support part kind of project that onto the intro. The intro is separate from the support. It's a show within a show. I think we're about 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes into it. It's usually somewhere between 10 minutes and 20 minutes long. It's where I introduce the podcast unsuccessfully. Over 1,000 times I've unsuccessfully introduced my podcast. Unsuccessfully sounds unsuccessful. I've been unsuccessful at... Is unsuccessfully a word? If it is, my picture's next to it in the dictionary, in my imagination. But the intro is where I introduce the podcast to new listeners, but regular listeners are almost nodding. Maybe they're nodding off because here's a piece of fan fiction I could write one day. Nodding on Notting Hill. Idea just popped in my head. That was that Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant? My brain said Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Hugh Jackman, and I said no, that's definitely wrong. Don't say that out loud first. To say it second, and figure out who is it. Okay. So I think that's what nodding off on Notting Hill, starring. Probably wouldn't be starring anyone. Starring fictional characters within Scooter's imagination. What was my point? Oh, good, that regular listeners are nodding. Because the intro, the reason it's like 10 to 20 minutes long and at the beginning of the show is not just to introduce new people to the show, but it's to ease you into bedtime And for a regular listener, it becomes part of their bedtime routine, whether they're getting ready for bed, they're doing something else relaxing, whether it's stretching or drawing or knitting or just chilling out, sitting around. And then some listeners are in bed. A few people are already asleep. We're so happy for you. Oh boy, are we? We don't have any. We do have a bunch of FOMO, particularly me right now. But we're happy for you. Really, totally happy for you. Especially those of you who are in bed with a partner that doesn't listen to the podcast that's already asleep. We're even more happy for those partners. But so some people are asleep. 2% of people start the show at 20 minutes or so. And then equally, people that pay on Patreon, there's people that listen to story-only shows and a lot of people that listen to intro-only shows. So it's kind of balanced out. But the intro just gives you a chance to have some twilight or some wind down for most listeners, to get some distance from the day and to ease you into bedtime, because that's just what works for me. Like I said, last night I did a live show and I didn't get home after like unloading everything and stuff like that. And I said, oh boy, I want to be asleep in a half hour, which just isn't like going to happen. It usually takes me an hour to wind down. And then after doing a performance and having a bunch of like coffee and stuff, so the intro it serves a couple purposes. It introduces you to the show. For regular listeners, it's familiar every time, but it's different. So your brain or your emotions or whatever that keeps you up can't quite adjust, because they never know. They know Scoots is going to say something that doesn't make any sense, but what will he say that doesn't make any sense? I mean, I don't think I've ever come up with a fan fiction for Nodding on Notting Hill before. Nodding on Notting Hill. Knitting and nodding on Notting Hill. Nana, knitting and nodding on Nana, Sha-na-na, live on Notting Hill. What if it was just na-na-na? If Sha-na-na ever broke up, I realize I've done research on Sha-na-na, but like, what if they said, let's just split up? I realize we've been in, 70 years or whatever, we've been making music. But what if we could split the company right down the middle? You'll be Sha and we'll be na-na-na. And they say, why? Well, a podcaster wants to write a piece of fan fiction called na-na-na. He doesn't have another words and then on Notting Hill. So Notting Hill. Well, it sounds like he's just having trouble saying words. Well, yeah, he does have trouble doing that. So that's the intro. And then after the intro is, again, support for the show, so it could come out twice a week for free. Believe it or not, if you're new, or even some regular listeners don't believe this, but there's a lot of work that goes in the show. It's not like I just sit down and record it and put it out. And that's like the sponsors and the support make that possible. Then there's a story. Tonight it'll be our episodically modular series, Nuns in Space. So that'll be fun and very sleepy. Oh boy, we'll be sleepy. And then there's thank yous at the end. So that's the structure of the show. That's why I make the show. I'm really glad you're here. I really appreciate you taking the time to check the podcast out. If you're new or coming back, thank you so much. And here's a couple ways I'm able to do it for you for free twice a week. All right, everybody, it is time to talk about that sponsor that keeps me breathing fresh air, Air Doctor. You know, the air I breathe is always on my mind, but I don't have to worry about it, whether it's the smoke from the fires, whether it's the pollution from the freeway, allergens, people bringing in germs. Air Doctor takes care of all of that. You know, clean air is one of the fastest and easiest ways we can have positive impact on our health. Improve the quality of your indoor air with a high-quality air purifier. And all you have to do is breathe. So you got to check out Air Doctor. You breathe over 20,000 breaths per day, and Air Doctor filters out dangerous contaminants and allergens so your lungs don't have to. Air Doctor uses an ultra HEPA filter that's been independently tested to remove 99.99% of tested bacteria and viruses. And it takes the guesswork out of clean air. It's got an auto mode feature that uses a laser sensor to detect air quality and automatically adjust to the correct filtration level. You also don't have have to worry about noise with Air Doctor. They use their exclusive professional WhisperJet fans that are 30% quieter than the fans found in ordinary air purifiers. That means you can run Air Doctor at the highest speeds while still enjoying a peaceful home environment. You know, Americans spend 90% of our time indoors, and according to the EPA, indoor air can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outside air. I got the Air Doctor upstairs. I got the Air Doctor downstairs. When I'm working, it's there. When my daughter's sleeping, it's there. When I'm sleeping, it's there. I can breathe through my nose. But I also just have that peace of mind. I don't have to think about what's in the air we're breathing. And I'm so happy we have the extra protection. Air Doctor comes with a no questions asked, a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't love it, just send it back for a refund minus shipping. So get over there. It's airdoctorpro.com and use the promo code SLEEP. And depending on the model, you'll receive up to 35% off. That's up to 35% off, but only if you go to AIRDOCTORPRO.com and use that promo code SLEEP. airdoctorpro.com and use that promo code SLEEP. Thanks, everybody. Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive. Have you tried the Name Your Price tool yet? It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. It's easy to start a quote, and you'll be able to find a rate that works for you. It's just one of the many ways you could save with Progressive. Get your quote today at Progressive.com and see why 4 out of 5 new auto customers recommend Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. All right, hey everybody, it's Scoots here. It's time for our episodically modular series, Nuns in Space. It's technically season 3, but this is very episodic and modular, so you really don't have to have listened to any episodes before this one. You could, but the good thing is you could look at all that stuff as, backstory or whatever. Even this is episode 3, I believe, and we'll get you caught up on everything you need to know and go through that. So it'll be really nice. And so it's time for another episodically modular episode of our series Nuns in Space. Basically, it tells each episode is a bit procedural. It tells the story of Scooter and Stan, 2 best friends, space adventurers, who at the beginning of each episode find themselves not together, and each faces a different dilemma at the start of each episode. Oh boy, this is the stuff they don't do on TV, because you'd say, please don't do this every episode, but for a sleep podcast, we can. And the dilemma for Scooter is he's on a spaceship with the nuns from his childhood. And don't ask the mechanics of it. That's got, hyperspace and, subspace stuff. But he's on a spaceship with the nuns from his childhood. He's their only crew member. And they're as wonderfully kind as he remembers them, which is not even, I don't even say that with irony. Whatever's harsher than irony, I say it. But he has to work with them. They're traveling through space, destination to Scooter unknown, because he's just a crew. And he has to help them as a crew member. He also knows, he's the only one that knows that they're in some sort of repetitive cycle each episode. And that he also has to get to Stan, and Stan's somewhere facing Stan's own dilemma. So Scooter's first dilemma is helping the nuns as a crew member, because he's on the ship with them. Then figuring out that solution usually helps him get to Stan. Stan is a sentient freestyle soda machine, just in case that's somewhat important. If you need to picture him, picture freestyle soda machine. With sentience, nanobot, he also has nanobots that can, do arms and legs. But Stan's memory gets wiped mostly every episode, or not wiped, but he's in some sort of thing where he doesn't remember. He usually comes to consciousness or whatever on a planet, and the planet is facing its own dilemma, possibly caused by concentration of delusion. And Stan doesn't really always remember how he got there, what he's doing there. And Stan also has some powers that could be described as magical or godlike or cosmic, but Stan's not aware of that either. And so usually Stan's in a dilemma, how to get here, what's going on. The planet is in a dilemma. And let's see, I'll give you an example if I can remember from the first two episodes. One planet, there was these glob-like beings, but they were turning into balloons, like a hot air balloon. They were enjoying it, but it wasn't good for them because they were meant to be glob-like beings going on the earth. When they became hot air balloons, some of their being would evaporate, eventually total evaporation. That's a shorthand. Stan didn't even realize it, so Stan, that's how it goes. As the procedure was, something's wrong. Feel like something's wrong. What's wrong? Let's fix it. So that's the procedure. That sounds like not the procedure. That procedure is not a metaphorical one. It's more like, for me, then after let's fix it, then I realize, some things, are more about adjustment and acceptance than fixing. But this is a story, not my personal life. Oh, my God. I just cracked myself up so much because it's not because I'm embarrassed, but it's just like so funny that, the stories aren't like life always. So in this story, things will be solved and fixed because it's just a story. I just wanted to point that out to you and to me because I could have, I'm not kidding. I don't know if this happens to anybody else out there. But you say, well, maybe I could, even though it's my own podcast that I write and do it, I could still take it as I say, wait a second, if I could be more like Stan, then everything will be, then I could just fix that. I say, no, it's more, you're just a human being. You don't live in a bedtime story, episodically modular series, loosely based on your experiences as a child with nuns and, your desire to have a sentient soda machine as a best friend. That's fiction. Okay. But you know what's not fiction? Well, winkety wink is our celebrity, set up a person. I don't know if indomitable is the right word, but I feel like saying it. The indomitable, the unprecedentedly glamorously handsome, endless kindness, Mr. Antonio Banderas. As the friends beyond the binaries, so ladies and gentlemen, so boys and girls, it's time to get spacey with Nuns in Space. So good to be here, Scooter, with you. Thank you for not, I was so caught up in my own stuff that I didn't take the time to mention that even though you drove straight from Los Angeles here, you were, I realize they say around the set time, but really, I mean, you know what I mean. So that's Mr. Antonio Banderas, and this is Nuns in Space. Thanks, everybody. Hey, pen pal, this is Stan. It's not all fun and games, pen pal. Sometimes it's just games. I know people say that. Scooter used to say that people would say that to him. Life's not all fun and games, Scooter. And he'd say, but shouldn't it be? Or are you sure it's not? And then he'd say, well, I wish I would have. So anyway, but it's pen pal. I'm just saying, it was just a saying or truism. That confused Scooter. But I'm in a situation where it's true. Life is not all fun and games on this planet. It was just games. It was just fun and games on this planet. In business and commerce and industry. But not anymore. Now it's just this one game. And... the thing is, pen pal, the more I think about games and game-based sayings, then I think about that you play games with your friends normally. And my friend once upon a time, I had a friend, pen pal, named Scooter, and he taught me through his example how much he loved to win at games. and how good it could feel winning the game for a very short time if he won, or I let him on to think he won. But, one thing he also taught me, or like Ann told me, was there was times, because he was trying to teach me, eventually he caught on that I was letting him win. And he said, it could be fun to almost win, Stan, as long as you almost win. And then he taught me that by example when we introduced other people to play games with, as we tried to, this was another adventure. It was not exciting, it was called Scooter getting out, and hanging out with people and Scooter together. And so if he was close to winning, or he had a chance to win up until the end, it was fine. But if he was, like, if we were playing a game and he had no chance, oh boy, pen pal, look out, because if it was, like, it wasn't going good. But I don't know where my almost wiener, almost wiener, pen pal. I wrote that on purpose. My almost winner Scooter is not here. And no sign of my friend. And I'm here, and this is no game at all. This is not a game. And it makes me want to, like, I have one of those, even though this game, there's no dice-based games here, I have a dice cup, and I want to shake it, but I'm shaking this dice cup because in frustration, pen pal, because there's no game. This is no game. This is no game. I'm shaking it like a maraca because it's helping me. It's helping me. This is no game. Stan, why do you keep saying this is no game? Stan, oh boy, is that a rattling? I thought it was a maraca or a dice in a cup, but a cup that doesn't have a felt lining. But it's, oh my gosh, it's the metal of the ship rattling and the ship is shaking. Oh boy. What a time to wake up. Okay. Oh, yes, nuns, I'm on my way. Clearly, yeah, I can feel the G-forces, sisters. I'm on my way to the bridge. I'm on my, hi, sisters. The ship is not that big, so I know, like, the ship, I know the ship should not be rattling like this, sisters. Okay, so we're going, so we have to go through these planets to get another gravity boost, huh? Or what? I know it's not called a gravity boost, sister, but I realize we're using the we're using the gravitational pulse of the planets as a boost. Okay, I can see it on the map. And okay, this usually, I realize, some things I do learn, sister. I realize this takes some very smooth, focused flying. And you're saying, okay, so the controls of the ship are very stiff. And I know autopilot can't handle it. Let me just observe while things rattle and shake. Even a rattle and a hum. I mean, not a great hum. Okay, sister, here, could you take your hands off the yoke, like a yoke, please? And because we just have a bit pause here. And let me just activate the autopilot for a quick, this is just a diagnostic. See, because, I just did a quick diagnostic, and according to the, this is an analog digital system Stan and I designed with vacuum tubes. I don't know if you're aware of any of that, sister. Okay, this is your ship. Of course, sisters. Yes, I know. Might be. But here, can you go back to the controls we're getting ready to go through? And yes, sister, I see you co-piloting. It looks like you know what, I'm feeling it too. It's like a stiffness. I didn't even realize it myself, but I'm feeling physically stiff. And I think that's what's happening with the controls. Can we do some motion? Yeah, I can't do. It's like I feel gummed up. How about you, sisters? Can you feel that? Okay, let's try some breathing. Yeah, and let's try to do. Yeah, it's like it's not just gummed up, but it's like I can't move. That's what's causing the shaking of the ship. Is your piloting, but your piloting is being affected by your and mine, all of our. It's like we're greased up with old grease or something. Let me just. I don't normally like to do this, sister, but let me just kind of rub your shoulder. Oh boy, you are stiff. It's like you're partially it feels like you're partially defrosted or something. Yeah, I feel like that too. Okay, well, that's not great. You're not cold, though. Yeah, sorry. Sisters, let me take your forehead temperatures, or it feels somewhat normal. And I feel the stiffness, but I don't feel the stiffness. Oh, you know what I could do is when my hands used to get cold, I never told anyone this, but if someone asked me for a massage, like a romantic, I didn't really do this, sisters, but I used to plan on it. If someone asked me for a massage romantically, which is no different than the massage, but I would put my hands in my armpits to warm them up. And I always thought about, and my armpit is soft on the inside, like this is someplace. Let me see if it's in my imagination. This is something I never thought I'd ask permission of the nuns, of all of you sisters, but could I put my finger in your armpit or a couple fingers? I promise not to tickle you. Well, even if you're I know, but yeah, oh boy. Yeah, that you're soft. Your armpits are soft too. So, be thinking about it. Hopefully my memory will be wiped at some point. But all of your armpits are soft, in various degrees of humidity that I'll never forget. I'll never forget that each of you had a different, that I'll just never forget that. Thank you for that. But yeah, all of our armpits are soft. And I realized the ship is, so we got through that gravity, whatever thingamajig. How long do we have? Okay, well, I'm working on it. Okay, well, I realized that, so we're being propelled towards that next solar system. And, okay, within the solar, thank you, sister. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, so I have a few minutes. I'll get to the bottom of it, sister. Oh boy, I'm on it. I'm on it like I'm trying to clear armpits out of my head at this point. And let me just do some more. Like I feel like a turtle that wants to go back in their shell because of there's like a slug light. Okay, so that's popping in my head for a reason. Sister slug. Huh. So it's like, you're, okay, let me check you again, sister. So your clothing is stiff and your outer thing is stiff. I don't know. Let me put on a space suit and see. Let me just try something. Okay, I'm putting on the spacesuit, sisters, and I'm moving around in the spacesuit because this is the one for going out into outer space, right? And inside the suits, now, like the outside of the, so it's something, there's something in the atmosphere or in the ship or something that is causing our outer layers to be stiff. But this would be too bulky to wear to steer the ship. I realized that, sister, because you were raising your voice and telling me, yes. Okay, so I'm really going to, you know what, sisters, do you have any winter clothes in your wardrobe? I'm going to go, you keep controlling the ship and controlling us through this gravity push or whatever this thing is called. I'm going to go in your wardrobes oh goodness. No, you just have a lot of these, do you mind if I call them nun suits? They're softer than I thought. I mean, the polyester is rough, but but I don't think this is going to do it. And I like these layered ones. But I don't think that's going to be, because in the movies, and sometimes there was nuns that had like really stiff suits. That's why I was looking. Do you have any stiff suits? No. Do we have any starch on board or spray starch? No. Okay. Well, then, oh boy, sister, I got an idea. Sorry, sisters. Yeah. So I'm going to, take 3 of your suits down to the, it's not very far. And, I remember watching this episode of Great British Bake Off. And what I'm going to do is soak your suits in egg, like I'm going to get your suits and stiffen them up with egg whites. So I'm separating eggs very quickly. Sisters, have you ever seen anybody separate eggs and egg whites so quickly? So yeah, I have a vat of egg whites here, and this is the egg yolks there, and then the egg shells. I know. Oh, don't worry, sister. I will not waste anything. I know we already have something with the egg shells to process that. The egg yolks, I'll make some tarts, some egg yolk tarts, just like I saw in the Great British Bake Off. But for now, they're just going to sit in this vat, kind of like orange eyes. Why? Hey, egg yolks, keep an eye on me. I'm stiffening up some nun suits here. Even these habits, sister, they're a bit like helmets. And yeah, these should stiffen right up. I'm gonna use this vent here. These are stiffening right up. I'm putting them on hangers. Don't worry, sister, because I want to make sure you can slide into them. No, I'm not. Yeah, so go ahead, sister. Put it on. I'm good. I'm fast. Okay. See. You think it's going to work. Yeah, make sure to put on the side. I did everything, even the undergarment. Yeah. Oh, just, no, go in another room, please. Yeah, even because you need layers, I think, sisters. Yeah. Okay, you control the ship. Oh, boy, no, I'm going to deal with these egg yolks right now and probably talk to them and try to process some of my feelings after all that. Hey, egg yolks, wow, you're really, oh, wait, I never stiffened myself up. Wait a second. I just kind of want to, so just looking at these egg yolks makes me want to get in here and soothe myself. I don't know. What would happen if I was coated in egg yolks? Maybe that would make me oh boy, swimming around here. And egg, like instead of Calgon, let me just go under the egg yolks, because also I know that I have to find my way to Stan. And now the egg yolks are so Scooter, why are you playing around in the green slime vat? Is that you? Yeah, Stan, it's me. Scooter, quit playing around. Where have you been? I've needed your help. Get out. Here, take a towel and wash yourself off. You're covered in slime. Stan, why is there a vat of green? Scooter, the green slime is part of the game. Okay. Which game? Scooter, one game to rule them all. Okay. So what were you, so you seem frustrated. Scooter, I'm very frustrated with you. I've been waiting for you and thinking about you getting here to help for a long time. And I've been saying, don't worry, Scooter will be here at some point. But it's been a long time, Scooter. And nothing's going well. And you're not, Stan, I'm here now. And I can see why I'd be frustrated. And I'll try to help. Scooter, I don't need help. I've been imagining you coming and solving everything. Well, Stan, I just solved one problem that I didn't, so I'll try. Why don't you tell me what's going on? Scooter, oh boy, it's been a long time. Okay, tell me the first thing you remember. Okay, I'm not even sure the first thing I remember, Scooter, which is weird because I should be able to easily identify that with timestamps. Yeah, I know, Stan, but things are different here. So, Scooter, they're so different. I don't think I like them. Yeah, no, I understand that. That's totally legitimate too. But okay, tell me about what's going on and where we are and what you do remember. Okay, Scooter, we're on a planet, and this is where everything's going wrong. Okay, and what planet? What's the planet like? Oh, it was a very nice planet for a long time, Scooter. Before I remember, it was like the foremost hub of game shows for this section of the universe. I'm sorry, Stan. Could you? I think Scooter. Okay, so in this part of the universe, all game-based entertainment, this planet became the hub of that. This was where they would create game shows, game-based entertainment, Scooter. Okay, that helps. So they film game shows here. They come up with the ideas here. There's even theme parks for people to like simulate game shows, or there were. None of that anymore, Scooter, unfortunately. Not all production happened. I mean, the productions of the shows did, but, not making board games so that it would happen, but they would design those. So this whole planet, was where all the creative happened and a lot of the production, and it became a destination too. Okay, so the home of the game show and game-based entertainment industry in this part of the galaxy or universe or whatever, this was okay, so it used to be like that, right? Right, Scooter. Oh, boy. And this is where, it was an important thing because people like game-based entertainment. Of course they do, Stan. And, but that was a before time, Scooter. I remember knowing that. I don't know if I was here for that because that was a while ago. But all I know is that something changed on the planet, and people went from being interested in making games I don't know if it happened fast or slow, Scooter, because I don't okay, Stan, that's okay. Just tell me what you do remember. So, Scooter, at some point, people went from wanting to make games to only to playing games, and then only to playing this one game, the game to rule them all. But there wasn't any rules, and it wasn't clear that it was just one game, and there was no standards or best practices or guiding principles around this one game. Okay, this sounds familiar, just not with the clearly labeled as a game. But yeah, this was a game. So they stopped making games, and eventually they lost all their contracts, and some people left the planet, but a lot of people stayed and people came, and people were only interested in the winning part, Scooter, and they kind of made it, and then they started also, but they were also the game was kind of making itself as they were a part of it. So there was something else going on that I still don't quite understand, Scooter. Okay, let me see if I can just reflect back. Scooter, are you really, Scooter? You're reflective listening? Well, Stan, I know I let you down, and also had my fingers in Nuns' armpits today. So my value system for a brief time is restructured slightly. Scooter, why would instead of helping me, you were sticking your finger in Nuns' armpits? So let me see if I understand. This was once a game show planet, a game show production planet, fun, but business, fun playing games and multiple games. Something changed, and it went from making games and creating games and playing games to just winning at a game. At first, the game was less defined, but the game has slowly been defining itself as more and more people play it. Kind of, Scooter. That's still before I was aware of this. So that's around when I got here, and I became aware of the fact that there were no rules. And it was more of like the game had become a god or a base god, like instinctual needs, and people were just, I didn't like it, Scooter. As soon as I became aware of it, I said, you know what? I don't like this. Scooter wouldn't like it. It was a bit like a WAR, Scooter, and it was a big mess. A lot of all the stuff that they had built throughout their history had been dismantled or used, and I said, now, Scooter, I don't know how I do some of this stuff, but I got very, I had a furrow in my brow, my digital brow, and I feel like Scooter's at the top of my, Stan, you do have a furrow up there. Scooter, I used some nanobots to create a furrow, but, and I took over the planet, Scooter. I said, stop this. Now, I couldn't stop it totally, because people's lives were so integrated in playing this game. I had to be firm and gentle at the same time. You understand, Scooter? Okay, so you stopped the playing of the game. Well, Scooter, I used my super processing powers to analyze what was happening. So it's not like I just did it, Scooter. I mean, I just did it because I have so much processing power. But I don't know how I physically did it, Scooter. Or got a hold of everybody or all that. It just kind of happened. But I said, okay, because also the game that they were building was kind of further along. It's a combination of game shows and obstacle courses and all this thing, Scooter. But people were still using it. I don't know. So I said, stop. And then I said, okay, everybody. So then I tried to fix things, and I made some mistakes before you got here, which is another reason why I'm frustrated, because it hasn't been going great. Like, first I had strict control, and people didn't like that. And then I said, okay, well, this is a game. And then I started making rules. That's when I was doing all my processing, and I tried to optimize the game to teach them how to be fair and kind to one another. And that totally failed, Scooter. They weren't interested. So, then some people were not happy with, they were taking it out on me as the gamekeeper. So then I had to be a little bit stricter. And then I said, okay, well, we'll make a great game that everybody can play. And that didn't work. And then I said, okay, we'll make a great game that only a few people can play every day. And that didn't quite work, but it started to get a little bit better. Okay, Stan, it sounds like you're doing good. So you took over the planet and calmed things down from everybody taking, Scooter. So I had to kind of make it strict at first. And, people didn't like that. And I could tell, people's motivations were down. They weren't so nice. I didn't like any of that. And I kept trying to teach them, but they didn't respond to me teaching them or telling them how to behave. Okay, Stan. So then I'm guessing you came to another. So, yes, Scooter, I kept thinking about the game shows with the showcase. What was it? The showcase, where they would show two cool things you could win at the end, right? And how you would tell me that you never had a boat, or you don't have but a boat or two jet skis and a car. And you were always like, well, what if I don't have a place to put the jet skis, or my parents won't let me ride jet skis, or the refrigerator, or a pop-up camper, the things on the showcase. Is that what it's called, Scooter? The Showcase Showdown? I think that's what it was, Stan. And how that was kind of like aspirational, Scooter, like that you wanted to be a person with pop-up camper and jet skis and a boat, or whatever it was they were giving away, a new car, all those things, right? Yeah, and sometimes one of the showcase showdowns would be cool and the other one, but you could still win both, I think, if you were within $100 or something. Right, Scooter. But I was more thinking of it from the belief system standpoint. So I started to create the games, and the prizes would be and kind of from other books, and stuff, I said, okay, if you win this game, you'll get this whole new way of life. But only 2 people can enter the game every day. Everybody else, and people would get to submit what they wanted to win. But mostly people just wanted to win. The prizes, as long as they seemed cool and aspirational, suddenly that changed things, Scooter. And now people weren't happy that only 2 people, then it was 3 people, then I went back to 2 people. Like, I tried to figure out the different things, but it was just, I'm by myself, Scooter. And I was like, well, but the thing is, Scooter, things are calmer, but I don't think it's okay. The people, they like, I keep an eye on them. And while they keep saying, oh, okay, like they're still, now it takes a lot of industry to run everything, Scooter, because we got to keep everybody, so people still have to have jobs. And you have to do your job in order to be able to enter the game. So that's a motivation. And then the prizes are so great. But the thing is, Scooter, nobody's having fun. I mean, they kind of are having fun, but not real fun. I can tell because I've spent enough time with you, that I can tell when people are pretending. Okay, Stan. So, so we have an interesting dilemma. So you have things under control. Right now, it's hoping you'd come and fix it all. But I'm also very unhappy with you. Okay, well, Okay, so here's what I'm wondering. What happens to people who win the game? So you've been doing it for a while, and so we have winners. And what happens to the winners? Well, Scooter, it's the strangest thing. Like they can go off planet. That's normally what I try to get them to do, but everyone wants to stay on the planet. And eventually they come to me and they ask if they can re-enter the game. And again, I said, okay, well, sure, you could re-enter the game, but if you get accepted in the game, you have to give up your original prizes, because there's really no risk for anybody, right? It's a game show. Like you get in, you get to play. But for the winners, he said, well, you can't really it's not fair to the people. Okay, but has anybody done it twice and won twice? No, Scooter. It's just the odds are pretty low. Okay, and there's probably some simmering resentment about, like at some point, maybe there'd be enough simmering resentment that you have to wait around to see if you're even going to get to play the game, huh? Yes, Scooter, probably there is some simmering resentment. You're right. Okay, but there's so winning actually doesn't do anything. I mean, just like when I think I'm going to win, I feel good for a little while, and then I might but there's no real world here either. And you've tried to teach people to behave nicely. Have you tried to, Scooter, they're not interested in making games. So we tried to make making games a part of the game. Okay, well, here's the thing I think we need to do then, Stan, is, maybe, I don't know what to do. So they're stuck in a way. We can't force them to change their minds. Maybe, here's the thing. What if we go into the game? What if we play the game against each other? Because everybody watches the game, right? I would assume that there's a game every day. Scooter, there is every day. And then, Scooter, first there's the thing where you choose the players for the next. Okay, so we'll have to wait around. No, Scooter, we could have a special game because today's like a game break day. Okay, so we could enter the game. What if we just do a demonstration of the game? I don't know what to do, Stan, to be honest with you. Okay, Scooter, but I think you at least have an idea. We'll be in the game. Everybody will be watching. And what if we, what if we what if we go into the game? So here's the thing. Most of the people on the planet are former game creators or entertainers, right? Yeah, Scooter. Okay, and you know all that, right? Somewhere in your databases. Scooter, I do. Okay. And what if we go into each stage of the game and like, cause you were waiting for me to come help you, but what if we slowly go through each stage of the game and design it in a way that like play it in a way where each part of the game we're asking more and more people for help from the community? Scooter, I don't understand how we could do that, and it would be okay. Here's the thing. Why don't you make a planet-wide announcement that there's been a malfunction in the game and the games are ceasing because it's no longer and that you and your assistant are going to go in and try to play the game. There's something wrong with the game. It could be better. And you realize how frustrated everybody is with only 2 people getting to play it. And that the prizes aren't as good as they seem once you get them. Like you run, maybe that we don't have to do this in one second, you know? Okay, Scooter, I'm listening. So we do that. I mean, you could do it fast because you're obviously, I don't know, your processing's off the charts. Then we go through the game bit by bit, getting help, and to improve, to find out what's wrong with the game. But we're the, I'll just be myself, but you'll have to follow my lead and say, I don't understand. Why is this, this is a twisty slide, or what, what is the best use of green slime? Is it really a part of a game show, or is it more punctuating a joke? Well, Scooter would be part of it. You'd pull a bucket and it would go on your head, and then you would run. Then you'd have to search through. It was different. There was no, I know. There was a show with a lot of slime. I remember. Okay, Scooter, but like, how could we use green slime in a better way? Scooter, okay, so you're saying, here's the thing, other thing, Stan. I'm pretty sure that there's some part of the game, like, see that giant tower? That's Scooter, that's the part of the thing. What are you saying, Scooter? What I'm saying, Stan, is there's something off about that. Like, I know that's like that one game, and for like, what are those things? Whatever that's called. Like it used to be, it was like the squeaker, that's a game I never owned that I always fantasized in owning, where it was like an infernal machine or whatever. I don't know what to call it. Like almost like the thing that made Pee Wee Herman's breakfast. But it was like to build a better place for gerbils to play. It was called, that was a board game. It was called, Scooter, I remember you like, I bought it for you, but I didn't give it to you because I was afraid, very similar to the situation we're in now, that if I gave you build a place for gerbils to play, then your life would lose all meaning. Right, Stan, there you go. That's where we're at right now. I'm looking at a gigantic version of that game in the middle of this game. And I got to say that maybe that part needs to be removed, like it's part of our plan. Scooter, I think I'm kind of understanding. I'm almost getting a sense this has happened before. Like that there's something about that. And now that I'm processing the history, the arrival of that construction, it's not made from anything on this planet, right, Stan? But we can't just send it away without getting everybody's vote, right? Or, yeah, participation. But what does that even do? Can't we, I bet you, there you go. Okay, Stan, we found our solution, part of our solution. Each part of the game could be its own game. To build a better part of the game. but like with the goal of like having fun and being entertaining. Now we don't have to push those goals on anybody. Let them discover them themselves. And, but like the biggest one we would try to do is like, to replace this. Cause it's like, each part of that, I don't think Scooter, okay, let's do it. Let's, take a pause and, let me draw out some plans and communicate with everybody. I'm glad you're here, Scooter. Stan, I'm glad I'm here with you, too. Hey, pen pal, it's me, Stan. Great news. Scooter's and I's plan pretty much worked. I mean, I did have to do a bunch of adjustments, but we got everybody involved with fixing the game and making it better and saying, is this really working? We did a lot of that. Like, Scooter's really good at not knowing anything and then it being instructed by other people. And I was able to copy him. And even like we did it really slow, pen pal. It took a long time where it was like each element of the game at first, Scooter would say, well, why is this slide spin clockwise? Is there a reason I couldn't go counterclockwise? And then people being like, well, why? And then and then Scooter would be like, well, what's the purpose of a slide? And then people would be like, well, or what's the sound you make when you go down a slide? I do a wee or a woo. But a lot of it was like replacing parts of the giant obstacle course part of the game based on that board game, which I didn't even, I'll be honest, pen pal, till Scooter got here, I didn't even notice the similarities between let's build a comforting place for a gerbil board game, build a better comforting place for a gerbil. Scooter said, Stan, that's the exact thing of the game. Doesn't that stick out to you as odd? And it's constructed as some strange alloy that doesn't exist on this planet. And that, the more I thought about it, pen pal, I'll be honest with you, I sensed something within that game, that part of the game, that it wasn't like it was sentient, but that it had its own presence. I said, okay, well, and then, but it was like, I don't know, then I would get mixed up or something. And then Scooter was the one that said, let's see he said, how much green slime could a planet make? And then someone said, well, I think we could and there was a green slime accident that covered part of that part of the game. And that's when I realized it, because it was like it interrupted something, like there was a blockage or something that as soon as that was gone, people were a little bit more having fun for a little while. They celebrated and they were laughing. At first I just thought it was the green slime, but then I realized that part of the game, just that construction, was not part. And to be honest, I felt like some feelings deep down, pen pal, like my feelings of being left behind by Scooter, then fantasizing that Scooter would fix everything, then Scooter not being able to fix everything, then having to go slow still, and all that stuff. And then this part of me that's like, wait, Scooter's going to then I'm something else, that we're all stuck in this cycle, here on this planet every day playing the same game, these people, that construction was part of it. And I got so, and I was covered in slime, and I said, this part of the game needs to be and I took it and I flew, I don't even know how I did this, pen pal. I flew it right into their sun, and, which was pretty far away. And then I came back, and then we've still been working. Everybody's been having fun. And now it just seems like people were they come up with these other ideas. And I don't know, it makes me want to just rest my circuits here with Scooter's asleep. He said the green slime is good for exfoliation too, pen pal. And so I'm going to rest here with Scooter and dream of games and people having fun playing games. Pen Pal, good night. I want to thank everybody that signed up recently for our newsletter to support the Midnight Mission. You can sign up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission, and join us. Free live streams, fun stuff, being a part of community, positive change, but, Zoom hanging out with Scoots. So check it out, sleepwithmepodcast.com/midnight mission. I want to thank Mac, Jess, and Rachel. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Julia, Jeff, and Laura. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Virginia, Kay, and Robin. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Vlad and Danny and, Vlad, Janet, and name unknown. Thanks, and good night. Britt, Hauska, and Ileana, thank you, thanks, and good night. Holly, TB, and Gary, thank you, thanks, and good night. Nalia, Kelly, and August, thank you, thanks, and good night. Danny, Justine, and Julia, thanks, and good night. Jay, Lauren, and Bridget, thanks, and good night. Hillary, Lindsay, and Sandra, thanks, and good night. Thanks for being a part of positive change and the Sleep With Me community. I really appreciate it. Sleep With Me exists as a free show because of people that support the show directly or support our sponsors, and we grow as a podcast by people being a part of or spreading the word about podcasting in general. And I really appreciate all that. And we've been able to grow our archives to almost 500 free episodes from 200 probably at this time last year. I don't know if we started increasing it yet, but because of these Tuck You In sponsors. So thanks and good night, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about Helix Sleep. I love my Helix Dusk. Oh, boy, it's right in the other room. I would say, even when I'm not in the same room as my mattress, I'll tell you, even when my mattress isn't listening into my recording, I love my Helix Dusk Luxe. It is a mattress I would choose every single time because it's a mattress made for me and my needs. That's what I said to other beds when I've been at a hotel recently or staying in a cabin. I said, what about my needs? I realized why don't what if I lay down? Because you can't lay down. You can't get comfortable and talk about your needs in a mattress that's not suited for you, right? Well, Helix has got that figured out. Helix is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress made just for kids. And how will you know what Helix mattress works best for you and your body? Well, you just take the Helix Sleep Quiz and find the perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. And your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door, free of charge. And Helix knows there's no better way than to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. And that's why they offer that 100-night risk-free trial. Try out your new Helix mattress, see how your body adjusts, and if you decide it's not the best fit, you're welcome to return it for a full refund. Everybody's unique and everybody sleeps differently, and that's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. You got models with memory foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side. Models with a more responsive foam to cradle your body for essential support in your stomach and back sleeping positions, plus enhanced cooling features to keep you from overheating at night. And if your spine needs some extra TLC, they got you. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design, combining individually wrapped steel coils in the base with premium foam layers on top. It's a perfect combination of comfort and support. And like I said, I took that Helix quiz. I got matched with the Helix Dusk. I picked the Helix Dusk Luxe because I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach, I sleep hot. So I want to be comfortable. I want the right amount of support from me, and I want to stay cool throughout the night. And other mattresses, they just don't do that for me. They're made for somebody else. They're made for everybody, and that just doesn't work. Not only is the mattress the best I've slept on, but the setup was fast and easy. Helix mattresses are delivered in the box, straight to your door for free. Plus, Helix mattresses are American-made and come with a 10 or 15-year warranty depending on the model. And remember, you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. If you don't love it, I mean, I know you will, but if you don't, they'll pick it up for you for free and give you a full refund. You don't want to take my word for it? Well, Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired Magazine. It's even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. And Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep. That's helixsleep.com/sleep. With Helix, better sleep starts now. All right, everybody. And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. So if you listen to this podcast on a regular basis, you know, I have a morning routine, you know, I have an evening routine. I have a lot of different things I do to take care of my mind, my feelings, my body. And talk therapy is one of those things I do every single week with a licensed therapist. Just like if I need legal advice, I talk to a lawyer. If I need my car fixed, I go to a mechanic. I don't try to do it myself. I don't need to do it myself. And that's what I tell people in my personal life all the time, to check out BetterHelp. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat-only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. Thanks, everybody.